Welcome to Election Time, where we count down to the local government elections, which take place on November 1st. Today, we feature Mbombela local municipality in Mpumalanga. We'll look at issues of service delivery and unemployment in the area. And we will be talking to Sbusiso Matonzi, who is the executive mayor of Mbombela municipality. Trudy Grove Morgan, she is the DA provincial deputy leader. Vusi Kwembu, who is from the Economic Freedom Fighters. Jabulani Sibia is with the Inkatha Freedom Party. Good evening to you all, and thank you so much for your time this evening. Before we begin, some ground rules. I'll give you an opportunity to make some opening statements, and that's going to take 2 minutes each. And then we will delve into some of the questions around, of course, what's happening there when it comes to service delivery. And then we'll have closing remarks of 2 minutes each. And when your time is up, we will unfortunately cut you off and then move on to the next speaker. Good evening to you all. I'll begin with you, Executive Mayor. You can give us your opening remarks.
Good evening to you, and good evening to
all right. But Matonzi, I'm going to ask the team to try and address your audio issues because we can barely make out what you're saying. I'll move to you, Ms. Grove Morgan, for you to give us your opening remarks. Your 2 minutes starts now. Unfortunately, Ms. Morgan, you are on mute. If you can unmute yourself, and so we can be able to hear you.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Good evening to the viewers at home. As a Democratic Alliance, we would like to say that we are ready for this election 2021, and we are also ready to govern most of the municipalities, especially in Mpumalanga. We are very excited about these elections, and we are sure that we will be able to give the people of Mpumalanga the service that they deserve.
Bab Matonzi, can we come to you now?
Can you hear me now?
Try.
Yes. Can you hear me?
No, unfortunately, I'm going to ask the team to try and redial you so then we're able to hear you a little bit better. We'll come to you, Mr. Sibia, your opening remarks.
Good evening to your viewers, and good evening to you and your team there. The IFP is here to serve you, the people of Mpumalanga, the people of Mbombela. We are here to work for you, work with you. There in Paula, where you are lacking service delivery. There in Jerusalem, in Mansini, in Makushu. The IFP is here. It's here for everyone. Everyone can trust the IFP with the track record that it has. We are here. It's time for you to choose correct.
All right. And Mr. Kwembu, your time then to give us your opening remarks.
Thank you very much. Bongi, let me take this opportunity and greet the Commander-in-Chief, Julius Silomalema, extend my greetings to all the PCTs in South Africa and all the RCTs, ground forces, and viewers at home. Not forgetting, of course, Africa and in the diaspora. As the Economic Freedom Fighters, we are ready for the upcoming November 1st elections. We feel like we were born even ready before even the pronouncement of the date. As the Economic Freedom Fighters, we are ready and prepared to represent the interests of the people of Mbombela. We were ready to represent the views of the people of Mbombela. So on the 1st of November, the people must go out in their numbers to vote for economic emancipation in our lifetime. We want to make sure that we deliver reliable services to our people. So this time around, let the people give the EFF an opportunity so that they will see change in their life. And the real change will only come with the EFF. None of the other parties care about the life and the conditions of our people. Only the EFF represents the aspirations of the people. Revolutionary extensions to all the people of Swaziland. And we want to say we stand with them. Aluta continua. Thank you very much.
All right, that's the EFF. Bab Matonzi, you've heard political parties are saying that they should be the party of choice. What do you say tonight?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. Greetings to you and to the millions of people who are watching, who are also ANC members and supporters. When I've heard the opening statements from the other parties, but I want to indicate that the leadership in Mbombela will remain focused on building a capable state. The city and many other cities in the province, like Mbombela, are at the center of the economic development growth strategy of the province. And we hope that through the stability that we've built over time in this constitution, we were able to implement mega projects like the construction of the University of Mpumalanga, the construction of the Rebuttal project, the carrying interchange that is currently under construction, the parliamentary debate, just to name a few mega projects that we are currently implementing in the province. And we are currently expanding our cargo section of the Mpumalanga International Airport, so that we are in anticipation able to prepare everybody in the province to get their produce to other countries. So we are ready to continue governing the institution. The city remains a springboard of countries like Mozambique and Swaziland, and we are connecting all other cities as an exchange hub for goods and for economic activities throughout the province. And we naturally tourism in our space and the neighboring municipalities remains a key driver for economy. And we are going to continue driving all aspects, including your Mpumalanga mountain.
But Matonsi, your time is up, unfortunately. And what we're also going to do with you is to try and get you on the line as well, because your line is not so clear, and I'd really like to give you a fair chance in this particular debate. So if you can also answer your phone, sir, so we are able to then have a way of making sure that you are also heard. But we heard you when you talk about those mega projects that you say that are in the pipeline. Others have already come on, and we're going to try then as the team reestablishes a better connection with you. I'll move then to you. In fact, Ms. Morgan, one of the things that we've seen, and really the Auditor General in his 2018-2019 report is really how bad things have been. And this is around the issue of the use of consultants that are supposed to be doing the work of, officials that are in municipalities. And the municipality where you are currently in is no different. How then do you plan to ensure that this municipality doesn't find itself in this position? Because this is where the money goes that is also meant for service delivery.
Yes, thank you very much. The issue of consultant is coming way back. We've always raised it as the Democratic Alliance that consultants are unnecessary in the municipalities. The municipality has a department that can be able to do the jobs of the consultants. As a Democratic Alliance, we say the first thing we'll do is to get rid of consultants and make sure that the departments work according to what they're supposed to be doing. Because the money that goes for the consultant, if you look at how Mbombela pays consultant, it's way above what Mbombela can afford. It hires consultants, pays them so much, and at the end of the day, the people don't get the service delivery that they deserve. So consultants, we believe, is just a waste of municipal funds. And the biggest problem in Mbombela that we find is that Mbombela municipality doesn't function as a business. The first thing we need to get right is getting Mbombela municipality to function as a business. It must be able to get in its own revenue, which will make the municipality function. At the end of the day, Mbombela starts using grants that are supposed to be used for projects, grants to pay salaries, which makes it an ungovernable municipality. Those are the things we need to get right first. Those are the core things, because if you cannot run a municipality properly, you cannot give people service delivery. That's how we feel.
Mr. Matonsi, one of the things that we heard from the previous SOPA address by the Premier of the province, which you are currently in, she admitted saying that there have been instances of poor delivery on the commitment of ensuring that people get reliable service. And this was by her own admission. Why then should residents give you another chance to run this local municipality when, in fact, you've also clearly failed to provide services?
Well, let me indicate that the Premier has to make an honest assessment of the delivery of services and the performance of all institutions. Mbombela not single out, but our performance has shown that from a financial point of view, if we talk about grant implementation, for the past 5 years of implementing the grants, we have implemented 100% of the expenditure except for one grant, which was the public transport network grant, which is currently now at 100%. So in terms of performance, we have spent 100% on all the grants and all our projects.
But Matonsi, are you saying that this is over 5 years?
On the grant performance, yes.
But if you look at what the Auditor General said in 2018-2019 was that over 100 million rand was taken back to Treasury because there was not a full spending of this. So it can't be.
Except for one grant, which was the public transport network grant, which is now at 100%. But previously it was not at 100%. So in terms of MIC expenditure, we have not had money taken back to the National Treasury.
And when we then look at why should the electorate give you another chance? What would you say tonight? Because if by her own admission, the Premier is saying that you have failed as the government to provide the services, he did not single out Mbombela as one that is performing well. Why should the residents put you back in?
Well, Mbombela is committed to continue with our program to deliver the services that we have started. I want to give you a practical example of the Hoshani water works scheme, which is already at 95% completion. If it wasn't for the disturbance of the COVID, we should have handed over that project to the people of the North, clean water already by June. So we are at 90%. That's one of the mega schemes which is going to yield 26 megaliters to us. And we have implemented that project. We are currently implementing the road project that we are having through the network, the urban network grant, and we have charged over 80 kilometers of and paid over 80 kilometers of streets. And we are continuing with that program. We are continuing to provide in terms of the electricity network, the house connections, and dealing with the sewer issues that are affecting our people. As we speak, we have a project running at Ntogozweni. We've got another project running at Mpumalanga, and we've got many other projects that are already on the ground being implemented by this government.
All right.
So
but
we will continue and finish what we have started.
But Matonsi, let's pause there for a second, and when we come back, we will then pick it up with the Economic Freedom Fighters and the IFP as we look at some of the issues that you talk about, water issues, quite huge there where you are, but also I see sanitation. You're looking at Ward 4, 11.4% of the population there have access to flush or chemical toilets. 3.7% have no access to any toilet. Let's talk about that when we continue in just a moment. Let's continue then with election time on Prime. It looks like we've lost our connection to the IFP as we try to re-establish our connection with Jabulani Sibiya. Let's continue then the conversation with the EFF's Vusi Kwembu. Vusi, one of the things that when one is looking at two wards here in Mbombela, I'm seeing that in Ward 4, for example, 11.4% have access to flushing or chemical toilets, and 3.7% have no access to any toilets at all. And you look at Ward 1, 20.8% have access to a flushing toilet or a chemical toilet, and 6.9% have no access to any toilets at all. What would the EFF's plan be around this?
Thank you very much. What we are having as the EFF very clearly in one of our principles or one of our points in the manifesto is that we must provide the proper sanitation for our people. Therefore, once we step in, those that are currently suffering with the issues of sanitation are going to be prioritized. We are actually going to have a list that will deal with such issues, including the issues of water provision. Remember, we have heard that executive mayor saying or posting broadly that the Oshane plant is now up 90% complete. I want to voice it very clearly today here, that the executive mayor is not telling the truth. He went to Likwala FM and promised the people of Mbombela that Oshane plant will be up and running by June. Up until today, we can proudly report that the Oshane plant is a failed project. Up until today, it is not functioning. So we as the EFF, when we step in, because we've got interests of our people at heart, what we are going to do is identify all the households that are facing challenges of water and sanitation. When we step in, we are going to make sure that we've got enough personnel. We've got enough people to go around. We will have a master plan. That master plan will be the one that will assist us in making sure that we get rid of the challenges that are facing our people, especially on the branches that you are mentioning, on the wards that you are mentioning. As you are mentioning, Huri, there are chemical toilets and the likes. Our people are dying in pit toilets out there. Our people, there is one, as I'm speaking, in Ward 41, Mchinji, an old man who is living every day. The toilet is breeding feces. There's worms inside the house. When we were doing our door-to-doors, we went in there, we zoomed in, and now the Department of Water and Sanitation is attending to the matter. But without us, that matter was not going to be attended, because there are councillors who were elected, but they did nothing for 5 years. So now we cannot say that the mayor, because we are here, and he must boast that they are going to do things proper. No, only the EFF can assist our people into living a better life and get the freedom that they deserve.
Mr. Kwembo, I'm going to come back to you. And before I give you a chance, Babmatonsi, to respond to the issue of this Oshane plant, because June certainly has come and gone. We're now inching closer to November, and that plant is still not working. I'd like to come to you, Mr. Sbiya, because one of the big things there is the unemployment rate. We're seeing at a Ward 1, for example, 41.8% are employed. The rest then are still finding, trying to battle to either get employment, or others have simply stopped looking. You look at Ward 4, 31.2%. That is quite a low number of people that are employed in that ward. What is the IFP's plan to create jobs in the municipality of Mbombela?
The issue starts with servant leadership, accountable leadership, responsive governance. If you don't vote for people who have the people at heart, you won't be getting the right services that should be rendered to the people. If you are not assisting young people to acquire the skills that are needed, we'll end up importing skills from Cuba to fix water pipes, water leaks, importing teachers from other countries to come and teach our children, while at the same time we're talking about retrenching our very own teachers. That is the problem of leadership. It's the wrong leadership that we choose. That is the problem. It is us, the voters, who create a problem by repeating the same mistakes and hoping for a better and a good, modified, pancake, sugar-coated somehow. But it's the same party. If you don't change the same party that has let us down, we are letting ourselves down. We are letting the very future of our children down. There is seeing these numbers skyrocketing of people who are not employed. day in and day out.
Now, Ms. Morgan, when one looks at the issue of Mbombela and we look at that white elephant, which has become now known as the stadium there, which was the 2010 FIFA World Cup stadium, there was a lot of controversy surrounding that project. There's still unsolved assassinations. There's corruption cases that are also still lingering somewhat. And that 1.2 billion rand price tag that some are saying could be also blamed for some of these services not reaching the people. What do you think the impact of this particular project has been?
Okay, the Mbombela Stadium has been a site for sore eyes for many years now. Since I've been in council, we've been debating about the stadium. The stadium is not utilized properly for the people of Mbombela. When the stadium was built, there was no a feasible study done before the stadium was built. It was a rushed project where somebody had to benefit out of the project. That's what normally happens around Mbombela. Somebody must benefit and a project just gets approved. The problem is this project is eating out of the coffers of the municipality. The municipality has to fund the stadium when it comes to electricity, water, the maintenance of the stadium, because it's not been utilized to bring in revenue into Mbombela. With the building of the stadium was one of the biggest mistakes Mbombela could have ever done, because they have not done proper research whether the stadium was going to benefit the people of Mbombela or not. It is not benefiting the people. It's causing more problems when it comes to service delivery because money is pumped into it, whereas it doesn't bring revenue to improve the lives of the people of Mbombela. That's one of the biggest problems. And Mbombela also has a problem. The municipality has a problem where they do not advertise properly when it comes. There's no proper management systems put in place. Whereas they see, okay, now we have this white elephant. We need to do something to make sure that it works for the people of Mbombela. No, if they are just relaxed because there is no leadership in Mbombela, number one. If there was leadership, they would make sure that they utilize the stadium so that it benefits most of the residents around Mbombela and bring revenue. But it's not being done that way. We hear of games that are happening there but are not even advertised. So how can the stadium bring in money if you don't even know how to market it? There is no marketing team in Mbombela. That is one of the biggest downfalls. Yes.
Let's move to you, Executive Mayor. One of the things is that the stadium has become a white elephant that's not used to benefit the community. The Shinning plant as well, water and sanitation issues, unemployment issues. You've heard for yourself from your counterparts. Your response?
Well, it's not true that Mbombela Stadium is a wild elephant. We have got anchor tenants there. As we speak, we've got Galaxy, which is a PSL team, which is playing there all their matches. We have got the Pumas, who are residents there. They are playing all their matches in that stadium. And I want to add that our model for that stadium is for community use. It's not a private entity. We use it for the Mpumalanga show. We use it for all the school sports. We use it for everything. So I'm inviting these participants who say Mbombela is a wild elephant to visit Mbombela. The Shinning plant, when I started talking about it, I'm the one who indicated that it is at 95% completion. And I also indicated the reason that due to COVID, we could not meet the deadline. And we have been doing door-to-door in Northern Chicago, telling our people what is the problem for us not meeting the deadline of the 7th of June. And we are continuing doing that pipeline. As soon as we are done with the connection, we get the 36 megaliters that we are hoping for. You also spoke about the Ward 4 in Mbombela. Ward 4 forms part of the crocodile steel, which is giving us about 55 megaliters. It starts from Ganyamazan right up to Rapowin. And we are rationing the water because of the illegal connections and other challenges that we are taking there. So the issue of shortage of water is the one that we are currently addressing through the Carino scheme, which is giving us 4 megaliters, where we are planning to push it through to the Omo Reservoir. And that is our plan, which is in place.
All right.
unemployment issue, we are one of the only municipalities in the country that adopted the youth unemployment strategy or youth development strategy that we are working on. We have capacitated our youth, trained them, opened opportunities for them. I can give you examples. Some are owning eucalyptus enterprise now as we speak. Some have got chicken farms, some have got a small business in sewing, they've got salons, they've got car washes through that program of emancipating the young people. Some have even got employment through the projects that I've indicated, the mega project, plus the projects that we are implementing, over 200 of them as a municipality. So that's what we are doing to create employment for our people.
Now, unfortunately, we're out of time, but I'm going to give you a minute each, all of you, to speak, to give us some closing remarks as we then round up this conversation. I'll begin with you, Ms. Grove Morgan. Your 1 minute starts now.
Thank you very much. As a Democratic Alliance, we say to the voters on the 1st of November, come out in your forces, vote for the Democratic Alliance, give the Democratic Alliance a chance to govern this municipality, especially Mbombela. We can show you what we can do in this municipality. All we need is your vote. If you look at our track record in municipalities where we govern, the Democratic Alliance gets clean audits. We give people service delivery that they deserve. We make sure that they have running water. They have water and sanitation is up to standard. Because it does not only help to have clean audits, but you do not give people service delivery. So our main aim here is to make sure that the people of Mbombela get clean water. Sanitations won't be flowing in the streets like it's doing now. People will be sure that the water they get is good for human consumption.
Unfortunately, Ms. Morgan, your 1 minute is up. Let's move then to you, Mr. Kwembu. Your closing remarks. Your minute starts now.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bongiwe. I want to voice it out clearly and for the viewers to hear that the mayor is lying in front of them. The Oshane plant was finished 2 years ago. The one of Bush is functioning. The one of Mbombela is not functioning as we speak. Ms. Bongiwe, I want to make a commitment to the people of Mbombela that in what 19 and what 20 Kanyamazane, that bridge which collapsed, we are going to restore it. We want to make sure also to the people of Umjindi that we are going to reverse the merger that was done between Umjindi and Mbombela. We are going to provide water to our people. There are killings currently happening in Umjindi and the leadership is not doing anything. Leadership, outsourcing of work will not happen under the leadership of the EFF. General workers will not be outsourced under the leadership of the EFF. Horticulturalists under the leadership of the EFF will be a thing of the
Mr.
past.
Kwembu, unfortunately, your minute is up. Let's move to you, Mr. Matonsi. Your 1 minute starts now.
Well, let me start with the matter that was raised, the use of consultants. I want to indicate that
in Mbombela we do not use consultants. We have a very old machinery that is running our finances. And I want to indicate that for the past 10 years, we have received the unqualified audit report, except for the 1920 financial year, which is a good track record. And I'm also want to indicate that we've got plans underway to put up a dam for Mbombela so that we can deal with issues of water and sewer. We also have got a strategy to deal with unemployment and youth emancipation. We are also indicating our partnership with the mining sector and the engagement that we are currently going on with Sasol. We hope that they will bring employment throughout the youth of this province, and which is, I think, is a good thing because Mpumalanga remains a mining area. In Baraton, where we are talking about, we've got a good partnership in mining.
But Matonsi, unfortunately, your minute is up now, and that's where we leave it. Unfortunately, we lost the IFP leader, Jabulani Sibiya, during the course of this conversation. I'd like to thank you all for your time this evening. Sbusiso Matonsi, who's the Executive Mayor of Mbombela Municipality, thank you for your time, sir. Trudy Grove Morgan, DA Provincial Deputy Leader, thank you for your time. We do appreciate it here on the show. And Vusi Kwembu from the Economic Freedom Fighters, thank you to you all for your time this evening.